2700, 21700. Hello, fellow vapors. Vaping newbie here. It's been a while. Was feeling nostalgic, and I planned to do a video on this particular device that I just got. But I went back in time, threw on my old hat that I used to wear when I first started doing videos. As they're becoming fewer and fewer, just wanted to look back a bit. Was feeling really nostalgic. But you don't care about that. Why are we here? It's for the Topside by Dovpo. And this was created by Brian at the Vapor channel, and I'm sorry, the Vapor Chronicles. And I always make that mistake. And it came about by an accident. I inadvertently ordered 21700 batteries in place of 2700 batteries, and I didn't have a device they fit. And rather than return them, I thought maybe I'll treat myself. This sells for $99.99, I believe, at Wicks and Wires. And the link is down below. Check them out. They have a plethora of hardware as well as juices. And I know Joe only by Facebook. I don't believe I've actually ever met him. But I've met so many people, it's hard to say. And I apologize, Joe, if I have. But having said that, it's a great team. And Joe himself seems to have a passion for vaping, and that's important. They do ship internationally, so if you're American cousins or distant European cousins, there might be a currency exchange benefit to you on that. So, without further ado, let's drop down and look at the Topside by Dovpo. Okay, so here you see it just comes in a little sleeve on the back. It has a bit of the history of it and what they're talking about it. Again, they keep talking about Brian and the Vapor Chronicles. As I mentioned, he was a developer in this. Then all the specifications on one side, a TVC creation. And on the other side, Dovpo. Slide that out of that cover, and it comes in, not this way, a plastic box. Now, we're going to talk a bit about the box because it's kind of unique. Inside, you get a little note, some directions. So you get a very minor user manual, some battery safety guides, a note from Brian, the QC, and then you get the actual box. And as she said, it's a big one. We're going to be looking at that obviously a bit more. And you have a cable. Now this is for your updates as well as onboard charging, although I'm not a fan of that. And you have some spare screws, which I'll show you about in a moment, and the Allen key. So that's it. Now we're going to take a bit more of a look at everything, but I did want to touch on the box. Of course, with this box being a molded plastic, this can come right out. You don't need that. Won't do that quite yet. But with the 4 holes, you can easily turn that into a holder. Pretty unique. Okay, we're going to do a little 360, or a quick 360. So on this side here, you have your fire button, obviously your screen. Down here, you have your up and down buttons and some venting right on top of those buttons. If I turn it this way, you have, it just looks like a dual tube look to it. On this side, you have, this is just for design. There's obviously no reason to have venting on this side. And your squonk bottle. And on this side here, you have, again, that tube look, but now you have the outlet for your power cord that comes with it. On the top, you have a stainless steel 510 connection, but actually it's a gold-plated 510 connection. I'm sorry, the look around here is stainless steel. And up top, you have access to your squonk bottle. Let's take a look at that. Okay, so if you want to fill up your bottle, you just simply take that, a couple of twists, that pops off, And you can see here on either side, it has access that you can put juice in there, and then simply match up these tabs. And look at the spring on that. There's a lot of give on that. 510's not spring loaded, but this sure the hell is. And there, that's it. Locks in, so you're all full. On the bottom, you have a push out, or what I call a push out. Just simply opens. There you go. There's access to your bottle. So if you want to take out your bottle, and that's what it looks like. And then you have access to back in. And then your battery, it takes, as I mentioned, 2700, 21700, or with this, 18650. Now, the beautiful thing I like about this is that the other Squonkers that I have that adapter, it's almost like a battery condom. So this is nearly the full size of an 18650. Okay, so now we're going to look at the screen. You hit the fire button 5 times, and it appears. You got variable wattage at the top. Up here you have, your battery strength, the wattage you're at, the amperage that you're using, the voltage that you're using, and then the resistance of your, disappears, hit it twice and it comes back on, your amperage of your build. If I hit the up and down buttons at the same time, it locks it. Now the beautiful thing about this lock that I haven't had before in any Squonker is that I can still fire it, but I cannot change the power. So I like that aspect of it. Take that lock off, and then if I hold the down button and the fire button at the same time, it moves it into what they call bypass. So basically, it's almost like a mechanical mod with all the safety benefits. That's the way I look at it anyhow. And it sort of self-chooses the power that you're going to use. And then by hitting both again, it puts it back into a power mode or wattage. That's it. That's all you get right now. If you go online with the power cord that comes with it, and you can upgrade it or update it, if you will, and you will have your temperature controls. I have not done that as yet, but we'll take a look at that. Am I seeing double? No. When you order the Topside, Wicks and Wires will send you a spare Squonk bottle in its own packaging that has a cap. This is the one that was in the mod, and this one's the one that was on the side. I've washed out this bottle here. I have not yet washed that bottle out as yet. It does come with a cap, but you want to be careful because it doesn't twist on. It's simply pressure. So you can carry on juice, but just keep in mind that it's not a full seal to it, and you want to keep that neat. I mentioned before in the packaging or unboxing, if you will, that you get an Allen key with a couple of spare screws, and they are on either side of this. There's screws if you want it to completely dismantle, and I'm not going to do that in this video. You completely want to dismantle this, you can do that. So now we're going to put some juice in and see the ease of using this. Okay, so as you see, I have it on the bottle side. So this is how easy it is to fill. You just turn this, and there is some knurling. Turn that, the cap. It pulls right off. Got some of my favorite juice right here. The juice I'm using, putting in a snake oil sapphire. And you squeeze. Now, let me see if I can get more of the bottle there. You give it a squeeze, and you can see it's starting to fill up. And the beauty of that is no juice all over the place, no juice inside. It's direct. Sorry, I'm using 2 hands to squeeze that bottle. And it's completely filled. You can look at the top because some of the bottle is covered right here, and so you don't see it. But I know, judging just by this, I squeeze a bit more and I have enough in. Oops. I'm just going to bring this here. And again, you saw this before. You could see that
those rubber clamps right here, or rubber stoppers, if you will. They're a bit more to one side, so they'll fit right in there. So they just fit right in. Screw it on a couple of times, and you're done. Ready to go. Okay, we have the bottle full of juice. We just slide that open. Got a 21700 battery in there. Close that up, and we're ready to go. So let's go up top. Before I go up top with it, one last thing. I have the RDA single coil profile, sorry, the profile RDA, which is a single coil RDA, which lucky you will be another video. However, I wanted to show you how well the squonking works on the top side. I mean, this coil, or I'm sure this wick, is just saturated. And so good job on the top side for that.
So there you have it, the Topside by Dovpo. There are, like, 1.5 con. It's the size. I mean, this thing is massive. This is my Vandy Vapes Pulse, and it is massively bigger. And it's heavy. It's a very heavy device. All my other squonks are made in plastic, but this is made in metal. But I like the practicality of filling it. So when we start looking at the pros, the filling of it was so easy and clean. You don't get juice all over trying to put that squonk bottle back in that I have as a newer squonker. I've been using it really exclusively for the last 3 weeks. 2 different drippers, the Profile by Waterfall, which we're going to talk about in the next video. Oh, lucky you. And the Bonza dripper. This thing is really, really good in battery life. I've been using it with 2700s and 21700s. It does also take with that adapter, the 18650s, but I'm getting some good battery life out of it. I'm not changing batteries every couple hours, and yeah, I am a nut vapor in that regard, I guess. The one thing is I could not update it to get the temperature control. I like to do a temperature control test. I apologize for that, but my computer always gives me problems with the connections. So I hooked it up, and even though it said it was there, it would not allow me to download the upgrade, but the upgrade is available at Dovpo. So to the Vapor Chronicles, really good job. Nice design, and you think that, why didn't we think of this before? You load it from the top. You're not having to squish the bottle. It comes with that extra bottle, so you have the ability to keep 2 juices and just change out the bottles. I guess another con might be if you wanted to dismantle the bottle to wash it completely. I washed it assembled, so it did the same thing. But if you really wanted to do a big cleaning, that is where you might run into some kind of a pain in the ass situation. But other than that, I would highly, highly recommend something like this if you don't mind the size and the weight, which I don't. I like the fact that you can use this in several different, you hold it like this and you got the bottle right here to squonk, and then the trigger right there. Really, really easy to use. So great job on them. And again, I can't shut this down without thanking Joe and the gang at Wicks and Wires for getting it to me so quickly over the Christmas holidays. And I look forward to using this for a while. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it, because you know I love having you over. So please, folks, stay healthy and happy vaping. Take care now.